Mara hated Luke more than the power of 1,000 Death Stars for killing her mentor and master. Because she received the Emperor's last command through the Force, it had an even greater impact on her and infiltrated her mind even more. She became obsessed with killing Luke. But now that the Emperor was gone, she didn't have any of the resources she once enjoyed as an Emperor's hand. Mara was forced to basically get a real job, but an ex-assassin's skills are not the stuff for a respectable resume, so she became a smuggler. It was during these years she lost her amethyst lightsaber that Palpatine had given her, and her abilities in the Force began to go dormant. About 4 years after the Battle of Endor, after Episode 6, Mara joined the Talon Card smuggling organization. Finally, she and Card happened to be across a stranded Luke Skywalker in the middle of space. Mara wanted to kill him, but Card took him captive to either sell him to the Empire or the New Republic. While Luke was their prisoner, Grand Admiral Thrawn came to the planet they were on to harvest creatures there that had a natural ability to block the Force around them. Because of these creatures, Luke is basically powerless there and uses the battery of his robotic hand to power open his cell door. He steals a craft and flies into the jungle. Mara goes after him, and when they crash land in the middle of the trees, unfortunately for them though, the Force-blocking creatures are everywhere, so they can't use the Force, and they have to work together to survive against the dangerous creatures of the jungle. Mara promises to kill him when they get out, but until then, they need each other to stay alive. Luckily for Luke, he escapes the planet with Han and Lando's help before she can do that. But something has changed within Mara. The dormant Force inside of her reawakens and she feels a connection to it again. As the story goes on, a bunch more stuff happens between Luke and Mara, but let's jump to when Mara discovers that Thrawn has joined the Joruus C'baoth, a dark side clone of a Jedi Master from the days of the Republic, to take over the galaxy with a clone army. Unfortunately for Luke, this same Joruus C'baoth is training him in the ways of the Force and trying to turn him to the dark side, without Luke realizing it. Kinda like Terry Silver in Karate Kid 3. Mara finds Luke and tells him what's going on, and the two lead a mission to destroy the Emperor's storehouse, where all the cloning cylinders are. When they get there, C'baoth freaks out and unleashes his secret weapon, Luke Skywalker, a clone of the real Luke made from his hand that he lost in Cloud City against Vader. Plus, the clone is wielding Anakin's lightsaber. Definitely this is a cooler story than the story of Anakin's lightsaber in The Force Awakens. Luke would later say that this clone is the fulfillment of his vision in the cave of Dagobah, in that it's what Luke would have been if he had turned to the dark side. So in a seriously epic fight to the death that honestly is one of the best lightsaber fights of all time in the comics, Luke fights his clone while Mara fights insane Master C'baoth with Leia's lightsaber. Finally, Mara actually kills both C'baoth and Luke's clone, thus fulfilling Palpatine's last order to kill Luke Skywalker. After the fight, the real Luke gives Mara Anakin's lightsaber as a show of friendship, and Mara officially renounces the dark side.